Hey friends, so today we're going to be doing an interactive read aloud with a lot of think aloud, critical thinking strategy questions. So today we're going to be talking and reading through My Many Colored Days by Dr. Seuss. It is one of my new favorite Dr. Seuss books, as its main concept is emotions and feelings. We have done read alouds in the past, but this one is a little bit different because we're going to be working with think aloud questions and think aloud strategies, critical thinking questions, and things along that line. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. In order to participate in this interactive read aloud, all you have to do is listen for the questions, think of your answers, and then say them out loud. And so we're going to go ahead and start. So at the beginning of any read aloud, the first thing you got to talk about is the cover. So for My Many Colored Days, we notice that there's no title on the front of the book, which is a little odd, just straight illustrations. But we do see that on the binding we have the author, which is Dr. Seuss, and then we have the two illustrators who did all the illustrations throughout the book. Then we also have My Many Colored Days, which is the title. And so some of the first thing we want to talk about when we discuss a interactive read aloud is, what do you think this book is going to be about based on the illustrations on the cover and the title? So our title is My Many Colored Days. So how can your days be colored? What do you think that this book is going to be about based on that title? My Many Colored Days. It probably has something to do with all the colors on the front. We've got reds and orange and yellow, green, blues, purples, pinks. And then we don't just have the straight colors, we have mixtures. So we have mixtures of green and orange right here, of yellow and orange and green. And then we've got some purples and pinks and reds. And we even have some pinks and oranges and some greens and blues. So they overlap a little bit. So I want you to take a second, and we're going to do a strategy throughout this read along where we're going to think and pause. So we're going to pause, we're going to think, and then we're going to share with our elbow partners. So first off, I want you to pause for a second, and I want you to think about, why is the title the title? Why do you think those illustrations look like that? Do you think they have any connection? And why do you think the title is not on the front of the book? So take a second. I want you to make your predictions and think about it, and then in just a few seconds we're going to share with our elbow partners. Okay, so at this time, go ahead and share with your elbow partners, and we're going to move on to reading our book. All right, so here is our title page. We have some characters here that do have a face and a nose and a mouth. They're kind of shaped like gingerbread men. And My Many Colored Days by Dr. Seuss. Some days are yellow, some days are blue. On different days, I'm different too. What do you think that means? Let's take a second. What do you think it means when it says some days are yellow and some days are blue? Does that mean your eyes change and you can only see blue and you can only see yellow? No, that's not what that means. It means something. Let's see if we can figure it out. On different days, I'm different too. So take a second. I want you to think about how you're different on different days. What makes you different every day? Is there a difference every day? I want you to think about that for a second and see what we can come up with on the next page. You'd be surprised how many ways I change on different colored days. So we can see here that we have somebody with a smile. We have somebody with like a scared face. We have somebody with they're upside down. What kind of face are they making? It's like it's a I'm doing okay face. So what do you think these different colors are meaning? Based on looking at the illustrations and looking at the faces, looking at the words, thinking about meaning, I think we can pretty well guess that we're talking about feelings. So you'd be surprised how many ways my emotions change on different colored days. You could put that in there, that makes sense. Let's see what kind of emotions we've got going on in this one. On bright red days, how good it feels to be a horse and kick my heels. So what do you think that emotion-wise is going on in this book? Well, we look at the illustrations and we see that the horse has a smile, a pretty little smile. and they're kicking and they're jumping and they're playing. So I would say that this picture definitely means maybe happy or possibly, let's see, they could be happy, they could be joyful. Any of those would work great. So let's go on to the next page and see what emotion is next. On other days, I'm other things. On bright blue days, I flap my wings. So let's see. What do you think this one could be? Blue kind of makes me think of sad. But this bird doesn't look very sad. Flapping their wings and they're flying. There's this phrase that sometimes people use and they say, blank as a bird, free as a bird. So I think this is all about being free. Blue, the color blue can also be used for peaceful sometimes. So I would say this would be free and peaceful. Uh-oh, this one looks sad. Some days, of course, are sort of brown. Then I feel slow and low down. What do you think about this bear? We automatically get a dark color, so that's not very happy. So if it's opposite of happy, that would be sad. And then let's look at our bear's face. What do you notice about our bear's face? It's definitely not happy either. They're sad. And where's all his little bear friends? They're not there. So I'd say he's very sad and lonely. Then comes a yellow day. I am a busy, buzzy bee. Whee! So what kind of emotions could this be? We've already kind of talked about like joyful and excited and stuff like that, but what do you think? What do you think this one could be? A yellow bumblebee saying wee. When you're on the playground and you're going around and you're screaming and you're having fun with your friends and stuff like that, you're being silly. There's actually a new vocab word that we can use in here, like jubilant. That would be a great word to describe these bumblebees. Very happy and excited. Oh, this one looks scary. Gray day. Everything is gray. I watch, but nothing moves today. Ooh. If you have those big eyes on your first day of school, you probably might be a little shy and quiet. Maybe a little scared or curious. Then all of a sudden, I'm a circus seal. On my orange days, that's how I feel. Let's look. A circus seal, that's kind of goofy and silly, right? And then we've got a smile and you're tossing the ball up in the air. Goofy and silly, definitely. Oh, we have another dark color. Green days, deep in the sea, cool and quiet fish. That's me. So we've got some dark color here, which would kind of mean maybe sad, but then we also have this bright lime green here, which could also be happy. And we look at our fish's face, and he's not frowning, but he's not necessarily smiling either. So there's a word for that, and that's going to be one of our vocab words this week, and it's called content. So it means you're not happy necessarily, but you're not sad either. It's more of just like a so-so, living life, going day by day. Content and calm. On purple days, I'm sad. I groan, I drag my tail. I walk alone. That's a dinosaur up there. I walk alone. So what do you think these would be? This would probably be sad and lonely, depressed. But then my days are happy, pink. It's great to jump and just not think. So this would be energized and happy. This would be another one for joyful. A joyful one would work great here. Energized and excited. Then come my black days. Mad and loud I howl. I growl at every cloud. So this is kind of like a rainy day. You see the big wolf that's howling in this one? It's like a rainy day, a sad rainy day when you're mad and you're frustrated. That's exactly what this is. Oh, but then comes mixed up days. And wham! I don't know who or what I am. Mixed up days, what could that mean? All right, so I want you to pause and think for a second on what in the world mixed up day could be. All these different colors, some of them are blending together. Some of them, you've got your red horse merging with your orange, which was silly and goofy. You've got your yellow, which was your happy, mixing with your content and calm. Got a lot of mixtures going on here. But it all turns out all right, you see. And I go back to just being me. So I want you to take a second and I want you to think about what makes you you. I want you to think about that for 1 second and then turn to your elbow partner and explain. And then I'm going to have a couple questions for y'all when you're done. All right, guys. So to finish off, since we are done with our book, we're going to do a few more questions to kind of tie everything up and make sure the students really are grasping every idea that goes on throughout the book. So the first thing we do is we look back and we're going to talk about our predictions. So at the beginning of our book, we talked about those predictions, what we thought the book was going to be about. And then you can tell your students, turn to your elbow partner and see if your prediction came true. Was it the same? Was anything the same? And then I want you to also think about if you can get a different answer for why you think that there's no title on the front anymore. If we look at our book, we have now realized that the whole book is about feelings and emotions. So it makes a lot more sense for those feelings and emotions to be displayed on the cover instead of maybe the title. It's more focused on the colors, which represents feelings, instead of the title messing up all the colors and all the illustrations going on. So that is a really neat concept about the book. So in general, we know that the whole book is about feelings and emotions, and that it's okay to have those different emotions. You know, if we look back in general about the book and we think about all the different days that you have, sometimes your bright red days could be happening and you could be joyful and excited, or you could be free and peaceful, or you could be sad and lonely. You could be silly. You could be curious. You could be goofy. You could be content and calm. You could be sad and lonely and depressed. You could be happy and energized. Or you could even be mad and frustrated. Or you can have a mix of all of them. So it is okay to have emotions, and it's okay to talk about them. And it's even great to talk about them and know exactly how you're feeling and why you're feeling them. And that's a concept we definitely want to get through to our students. So at the end of this read aloud, interactive read aloud with a lot of thinking aloud strategies, I am going to present my students with 3 different questions or statements for them to do think, pause, think, share. So the first thing would be I'd set my students up, usually in the same place that they have been throughout the whole read along. And my first question is, what was a time that you were confused throughout the book, and did you figure it out? How did you figure it out, and what was your answer? So I want you to think about it, and if you did have one of those, I want you to share it with your elbow partner. My second statement was all about reflecting. The last question was all about clarifying. This one's all about reflecting. And so this would be, I'm going to give you this statement. The ending of the statement's gone, and I want you to fill in the blank. When thinking back about the book, My Many Colored Days, I wonder if blank. Think and share. My third and final question is all about making connections between this book and the student's daily life. What does this book make you think of first? Does it remind you of anything? And that's when I would do think and pause. A great ending to this interactive read-along would be to do some type of writing or do some type of drawing and have the students draw themselves and pick one of those colors, or pick a mixture of the colors, whichever they want to express themselves in that way and describe themselves. That would be awesome and a really cool thing to do. I also found a great activity online that was all about yoga with the different emotions and how there's different yoga poses that can express a different emotion. And so that would be really awesome. And I am going to share that link below in the comments in the information below this video on YouTube. And so you are able to click on that link and hopefully be able to do that yoga lesson plan with My Many Colored Days by Dr. Seuss. Thank you. Have a great day.